Notice that Jairus and the woman and the centurion of the early chapters were all motivated by divine love, by love. They loved, and they were willing to do whatever it took to be well. Now, love would not allow them to give up. There was something inside of them that wouldn't allow them to give up. Just would not allow it. Love would not let the loved ones go. They just couldn't let them go. Love searched until it found an answer in the healing message of Christ Jesus. If you're out there on the internet right now, you're listening to this message, you've tried everything, discover a point of contact. If you're in this room today in the Church of the Infinite Presence, discover a point of contact where you can reach out and discover things. Love put aside the consequences of coming to the Master Physician. This was a point of faith, a place where they could reach God, a point of contact, a place where hopelessness meets hope and healing. A place where hopelessness meets hope and healing. Stop letting mortal mind talk to you. Stop letting mortal mind tell you that you're sick, or you're going to be sick, or you're going to die. I had a person call me yesterday. He's in the hospital with pneumonia. He said, how will you ever know if I die? And I said, well, I'm not sure. I guess I'll look in the paper and see, but I don't suspect you'll die. I think you're going to live. But what is this? Instead of reaching out for a point of contact, he's got a point of departure. A place where he's going to kick off the earth. What if I die? Unlikely. Unlikely. The human body doesn't give up very easily. Did you know that? People will stick around under the worst circumstances that you can even imagine. They'll stick around in there. So don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of it. You think you're going to die. Now the woman that we're talking about represents love, reaching out and making a place of contact. And it was on the robe of Christ Jesus. The woman represents the law of never say no. The woman represents the law of insistence, where we reach through the crowd of mental thought to touch the hem of truth's garment. All this confusion, can you imagine her walking into all this confusion? All these people, hundreds, all bumping up against Jesus, bumping, oh, I touch and do this, talk to me, teach me something, I'll bump, bump, bump. And she gets through that crowd. How did she do it? Because she had placed and discovered and went to a place of contact. Now notice that when the woman touches the hem of the Christ presence, the healing power of God responds at once. It's not, no, 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 yes, yes, no, 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 don't touch me, yes, yes, don't touch that, yeah. No, it responds to her at once. Now Jesus is a high spiritual character. And he just feels something go out of him. Something. And he says to his disciples, who touched me? They always thought he was a half-wit. You know, they really did. And they said, well, don't you know all these people are pushing up against you and you're asking, who touched me? No, he said, this is a different kind of touch. This is a point of contact. This is where hopelessness reaches out and gets hope. This is something different. Touched. In Detroit, we used to have, in the old days we called it healing lines. People came up and had hands laid on them. Lay hands on 50 people, you know, but one would come through. Something was a point of contact there. And they get well. I told you about this woman before, who was a principal in one of the high schools of Detroit. She came through the line, had been in an auto accident, her head had been smashed. She was unable to communicate. Laid our hands on her, and she went through the line. I didn't hear anything about her the rest of the week. Came back the next week, and this lady came up to me and said, do you know who I am? And I said, no, because I didn't recognize her. She said, I'm the woman who was in the accident. I'm the principal who's going back to work next week. I'm well. Even I was shocked. After all, I was up there to do that, and I was shocked it happened. But there she was. Now, Jairus, on the other hand, will take a little longer route to healing, to his daughter's healing. He requests that Jesus come to his house. Now, remember in the healing of the centurion servant, the centurion has a very high point of consciousness. And he says to Jesus, it's not necessary for you to come to my house. Speak the word only. He got it. Over 2,000 years ago. We teach this in the class. Speak the word for yourself. Speak the word for your patient. Speak the word, and people won't do it. They'll sit around and float around on the omnipresence and not even communicate. Well, Jesus was so amazed. He said, I've not seen such faith, point of contact, where the place where hopelessness meets hope in all of Israel. Now, the results of these events, both of them, is the same. Someone is healed. Someone gets well. In all cases, there was a point of contact, a place where mortal, limited mind met the divine mind and disappeared. See, mortal mind is what we mean by that is limited thinking, limited ideas. What do you think would happen to the Wright brothers if they thought, nobody will ever fly? We weren't meant to fly. Or Edison with the light bulbs, and oh, this just won't work. I've tried this and it won't work. I'll just forget it. Somebody bring me a candle. It's not the way it works. Now, are you in need today? If you're out there online through the thousands that get into these programs, or are you in this room and you need something today? You need it desperately. Pick a point of contact. Say, at this point, I will be well. Say right now in this place that this is the place of contact, right where you are right now. Say to yourself, I give up all this limited thoughts and actions and touch truth right where I am. If you're online somewhere with us this morning in this room in Oklahoma City, you can make the place where you are, no matter whether you're in Texas or Africa or wherever you might be, you can make that your place of contact. You can make the place that you're in a point of contact. You don't have to wait any longer to be well, to be provided for, to have the right person as a partner with you. You don't have to wait any longer. Make it a point of contact. It's going to be the place where you say this far and no farther, and this and much and no more. I reach out and I know that I am the child of God, affirm, of the infinite loving presence. I touch the hem of truth, and the power of God surges through every cell and through every atom of my body temple now. The scriptures state, I am God and there is none else. There is no God after me. No matter how bad it seems to be today, how things just aren't going very well, wherever you are, there's a contact place that is waiting for you to touch and open to the power greater than you are. No matter if you are a Jairus that has set the place of freedom down the road somewhere, or if you are a woman like the woman with the blood disease that makes her make a point of contact where she is, that's what she's going to do. The law, the power of God, the presence of God is right where you are and is ready to free you through the word of truth. Speak the word only, and the servant shall be healed. Blessings to you.